A brutal childhood, the harsh reality of growing up in medieval times. Imagine a childhood devoid of playgrounds, standardized schooling, or the simple promise of a tomorrow. For children born in the Middle Ages, life was rarely a romanticized fairy tale of valiant knights and elegant princesses. It was a gritty, grueling test of survival. To be born between the 5th and 15th centuries meant entering a world where childhood was an incredibly brief and perilous phase. The first great hurdle, surviving infancy. The absolute greatest challenge a medieval child faced was simply surviving their first few years on Earth. With rampant diseases, dismal sanitation, and a complete lack of modern medicine, infant mortality was tragically high. Historians estimate that up to 30% of children never reached their first birthday, and nearly half perished before the age of 5. A simple fever, a harsh winter, or a minor infection could easily become a death sentence. Miniature adults in a working world. If a child was fortunate enough to survive infancy, their playtime was drastically short-lived. By the age of 7, society essentially viewed them as miniature adults. For the vast majority, the peasantry, this meant immediately joining the relentless cycle of agricultural labor. Small hands were put to work pulling weeds, scaring away crows, gathering firewood, or tending to livestock. There was no concept of a carefree adolescence. A peasant family's survival required every pair of hands to contribute from dawn until dusk. Divided by class, united by duty. Even for the privileged nobility, childhood was intensely demanding. Young aristocratic boys were thrust into rigorous martial training at a tender age, often leaving their families to become pages and squires in foreign castles where physical discipline was notoriously severe. Noble girls, meanwhile, were meticulously trained in estate management and frequently betrothed as political pawns while still in their early teens, forced to grow up overnight. A legacy of resilience. Despite these relentless hardships, archaeological finds show that medieval children still found fleeting moments of joy, crafting dolls from rags, carving wooden horses, or playing games of tag. Yet their reality remains profoundly sobering. A medieval childhood was brutally short, stripped of innocence, and demanded an unimaginable level of resilience from the very moment a child took their first breath.